Introduce yourself, right? When you go on a date or whatever, or you meet somebody the first time, you introduce yourself, right? So your first impression is a big deal. So for me, it was like, okay, how am I going to introduce myself and get in the judge's attention? All right, so the first thing I did was I heard this Dream Theater Metropolis tune, and it was in 4/4, so like this, like I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play it in 7. So I played 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. My right pattern was this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so what I did was I played the same pattern that I played here, but I played it in 7 to introduce it without playing any grooves yet. Alright, so I just did this, something like this. That was my intro. I was like, all right, judges, I'm here. Please listen to me. That was my deal. So then I was like, all right. Now, when you guys do your solos, you go, what's your influence? Like for me, I love Michael Jackson. So I was like, all right, I got to play something that Michael Jackson, one of my favorite songs. So I heard an acoustic bass that's on here. And I was like, dude, that's Billie Jean right there. Now, what made this hard was like, I'm not just going down. I'm going from the first pad, down, down again, then I gotta skip up, skip back down, go up, skip back down, skip back up. Even though there's only 4 notes, the pattern is weird, right? So then, the Billie Jean group is just this. Right? What I did was, at some points, I'm hitting both pads at the same time. So I'm not just hitting the top pad, I'm also hitting the top and the bottom pad simultaneously. So I get that. Even in the beginning when I was doing the Dream Theater, right? When I hit the bottom pad, I get a full chord. So I have 2. On the octave pad, you can only do 2 layers on each pad. So I have 2 notes here, and I have 2 notes on the bottom. Or here, and then here. Is that all with me? All right. So before the Michael Jackson thing, you have to set up where you're going, which is a transition. So for those guys who are doing the drum off, make sure you spend time on your transitions. Transitions, I think, are the most important thing and the most neglected thing that I've seen in solos. All right. So after I play the Dream Theater, I go into this group. 1, 2, 3. jump off. Yeah. Now, I don't have my cymbal thing, so I can't show you the next section. But then I flip the snare over, and I don't recommend this too much because it gets expensive replacing these snares. So if you do it on a cheap snare drum, and then when you're ready to do your drum off, then you can do it on a good snare drum. And I had a thicker head. I had a Remo Emperor Hazy, which is thicker than an Ambassador. So I can really beat the crap out of the resonant head without it getting jacked up. All right? So I didn't do this in the drum off, so if you guys want to steal it, check this out. So I forgot to do this. So I'll start with a buzz roll and a sextuplet. Sextuplet. Sextuplet just means this. In my pulse, I fit 6 notes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6. Right? That's all, but I'm buzzing each sextuplet. So I'm going. Everyone with me on that so far? All right. Or you can do the 16 note. All right. Depending on the tempo, so it doesn't sound so like fast. Like if I did a sextuplet at this tempo, it's too fast. So I do a 16 note. Then I open up the sextuplet. Now, if I go in a circle on the drum head like this, I get like a reverse DJ sound, like a slowing down effect, depending on how fast or how slow I go. So, and also, I also put pressure using my pointer finger. So I have something like this. So I'll put it all together. Is everyone with me on that? All right. I didn't use it in the drum off, so if you guys steal it, that's cool. All right. So then I had these pads. My original groove, I had a cowbell here, and it was just this. I had a cowbell there, but then I said, all right, I'm going to take that out. I saw this DJ thing. I was like, man, I want to try this out. If you just go back and forth, you get a DJ effect. Depending on how much pressure you get, like if you put more pressure, the higher the pitch goes. So here's with no pressure. All right? So I came up with this. Same groove, but I just went in between. So 1, 2, 3. After that, I buzz, and you just yell into the drum, and you get this. You get the sympathetic buzz. That's all I did. So I went, and that was it. Alright? There's no like crazy tricks in there, nothing like that. Cool? Alright? My next session, my transition. Remember I was talking about transitions? I was like, man, how am I going to get, like I know I have to get here in this key. That's where I wanted to go, so I said I'm going to use a chromatic scale, meaning half steps, in order to get that to that key. So I just did this, and then I hit both of them at the same time, and I get that. I get a bell and a xylophone. But I doubled it so it sounded faster than what it was. So it's just sextuplet. Instead of going like this, I doubled it. Make sense? All right. And that just led me to my next section, which was Jay-Z, Show Me What You Got. But it was just fast. So here's the slow. That's what I did, but it was so fast that nobody could tell what it was. This is Alright, so that was my transition step. Here's the hardest part for me. This was definitely the toughest. Yeah, this so part, usually, you hear 3, 2, room by 5 like this. So you think automatically this, right? So everybody thought I was going to go there. But with the clave, you can hear it in 2, or you can hear it in 3. So you can hear it like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So everybody thought I was going I'll explain that section. So that's how I went into that section. All right, so I'm Puerto Rican, so I grew up with Latin music. So I said, that's right. So I said to myself, I said, you have to, when you do these things, be true to yourself. You have to show your personality. All right. So for me, it was like I've seen people play the clave, but the clave is not a pattern. A clave is something that it's in Spanish. It means the key. This holds everything else together. So you get what I'm saying? So like I wanted to bring it out authentically. Most of the time, you just hear you just play a pattern, and it's not a pattern. All right. So for me, I was like, all right, I got this thing. Right? My father plays guitar and bass, so I've always heard him play this. Alright? That's usually the bass pattern on this Montuno section. So I said, alright, I'm going to add that, the clave, and what we call the cascara pattern. Cascara meaning shell. But I didn't want to play on the shell, I wanted to play on the rim because the microphone was right there. And it'll pick it up. So I had this. Alright, that's the first half of that. Then I had a piano thing. So that right there was for me so I could solo over it. I just didn't want to play songs on this. Like I wanted guys to go, dude, that guy plays songs, he soloed over it. You know, he had independence. Like that was my thing. I was like, alright, I got independence, might as well use it. So my solo's like when I was practicing this stuff, I wasn't playing it, I was singing it. So I was like so I said, alright, if I'm able to sing it, I'm going to be able to play it. So I had this far, I said I'm going to put all that together. As crazy as it may sound, I'm going to put it all together. The Montuno pattern is this. Still in a 2-3 groove by 5. And the bass line obviously was this. Put it all together. I said, all right, I want to put the clave and everything else over it. So, let's see. Wow. All right. So I said, all right.
Awesome.
I'm almost done. That was like almost my finishing section. So then, I was like, again, it's all about transition. Like I had the ideas of, this is what I want to do, but how am I going to get there? And that's the key, like, for anybody who's doing this. It's how are you going to get to the next section? Making it seamless, where it sounds like a piece of music. Because essentially, that's what you're playing. A drum solo doesn't mean you're banging away. Drum solo means you're making a piece of music. At the end of the day, you're a musician. Don't let anybody say you're just a drummer. No, it's not what you are. You're a musician. All right, so my next section, I said I want to go in 6. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I just had a simple chord progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the top layer. I just went kick, then left on the double pedal side. Right, left, nothing fancy. Right, left, right. I'm keeping it like this. Or I can go into like a 6. my 6. So I do this. 1, let's see. Then just lead me into my last section. All right, and last